I caught my wife in bed with a delivery driver. She told me I was never enough, that she made me who I am, and warned she would take everything if I divorced. Her family backed her, so I went silent, cut them all off, and filed anyway. The move I made next turned their confidence into panic, and the ending was brutally satisfying. Hello Reddit I+ here. I never thought my life would split cleanly into a before and an after. But it did. One ordinary Thursday night did it. I had come home early because a client canceled last minute. I remember feeling oddly proud of myself that day. Work had been steady for the first time in months, and I was finally starting to feel like I was pulling my weight again. I even stopped to grab takeout on the way home, thinking it would be a nice surprise. The house was quiet when I walked in. Too quiet. The lights were on upstairs, and I could hear laughter drifting down the hallway. Not the kind you share with a spouse during a movie, but the careless, unguarded kind that doesn't expect witnesses. I climbed the stairs slowly, my stomach already sinking. The bedroom door was half open. I won't describe what I saw in detail, because it doesn't need it. My wife was in our bed, not alone. A man I had never seen before was scrambling to pull his shirt on when the door creaked. There was a delivery bag on the floor with a logo from a local food service. That detail burned itself into my memory. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She looked annoyed, like I had walked in during a meeting she hadn't scheduled properly. I asked one question, my voice calm in a way that surprised even me. Who is he? She sighed, rolled her eyes, and said, "Relax, it's not what you think." Then the man muttered an apology, grabbed his shoes, and bolted past me down the stairs without looking me in the eye. That was when she turned on me. She sat up in bed, crossed her arms, and told me she was tired of pretending. She said I had never been enough, that she had settled, that she had made me into who I was, because without her, I would still be nothing. I just stood there, still holding the takeout bag like an idiot. When I said I wanted a divorce, she laughed, actually laughed. She told me to go ahead and try. She said she would take everything, the house, the savings, my business. She reminded me that her family had money and lawyers, and that they would crush me if I dared embarrass her. Then she said something that stuck with me. No one is going to believe you anyway. I slept on the couch that night. The next morning, her parents were already at the house. Her brother showed up later. Every conversation felt like an ambush. They talked over me, corrected me, and acted like I was the one who had betrayed her. Somehow, the story had already changed. I was neglectful. I was emotionally unavailable. I had driven her into someone else's arms. When I tried to speak, they shut me down. That was the moment I realized something important. Arguing was exactly what they wanted, so I stopped. I didn't yell. I didn't defend myself. I didn't post online. I didn't explain anything to mutual friends. I packed a bag, left the house, and blocked every single one of them. Her parents, her siblings, even friends I knew would take her side. Silence made them uncomfortable. I could feel it even without contact. Within a week, she was blowing up my email with messages that swung wildly between threats and fake concern. I didn't respond. I hired a lawyer quietly, not one connected to anyone she knew. I handed over everything, financials, texts, timelines. Then I made the move that changed everything. I filed first. Not only that, but I filed with evidence. Not just the affair, but proof that she had been siphoning money from our joint accounts for months. Small amounts at first, then larger ones. Payments to an account in her name only. I had trusted her to handle the household finances. She had used that trust like a weapon. I also had something else. Remember the delivery driver? Turns out he wasn't just some random guy. He had a record. Not violent, but enough to raise serious questions. More importantly, he had been working that route under someone else's name. A family friend tipped me off quietly after hearing rumors and getting curious. My lawyer smiled when I handed that over. Suddenly, the confidence vanished. Her emails turned frantic. She asked to talk, then begged, then threatened again when I didn't answer. Her parents called my lawyer, furious that I had gone behind their backs. That phrase told me everything I needed to know about how they saw me. Court dates were set. Mediation was offered. I declined. In front of a judge, the story changes. Facts matter. Paper trails matter. Evidence matters. She tried to cry. Tried to paint herself as the wronged spouse, but every time she spoke, my lawyer calmly slid another document across the table. Bank transfers, messages, timeline inconsistencies. When the affair came up, she denied it at first, then minimized it, then tried to blame me. The judge wasn't impressed. The house was ordered sold, proceeds split, but her share was reduced due to misuse of marital funds. The savings she thought were untouchable were already accounted for. My business, the one she claimed she built, was ruled separate property because I had started it before the marriage and never added her name. She walked out of that courtroom pale and shaking. Her family, who once acted like royalty, wouldn't look at me. The final twist came months later. The delivery service launched an internal investigation after law enforcement got involved. The man lost his job. She was questioned. Nothing criminal stuck to her, but reputations don't need convictions to collapse. Mutual friends started reaching out. Quiet apologies. Awkward explanations. I didn't gloat. I didn't explain. I simply moved on. The last message I ever got from her was short. I didn't think you had it in you. She was right. The old version of me didn't. The new one learned that silence, patience, and preparation are far more devastating than anger, and that sometimes the most brutal revenge is simply letting people watch the story they wrote about you fall apart page by page.